Hello, good evening, and good afternoon. We have to greet in taking into account all the time zones to which we broadcast. Okay, and so I'd like to say hello to each one of you. I'd like to say you're welcome. Please share with as many people as possible. Please do so. Share with as many people as possible if you can. The reason is we are continuing with my conversation with Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. It's going to be an amazing discussion today. As usual, we are taking it up from where we left off and hoping that you are all going to benefit. Now, this is just a few things that you need to do for us. Share this TV Bakwetu to as many links as possible. So after you do that, you share. The second thing that you can do is, as we are talking, you can like, you can love, you can comment, you can get surprised, and you can also send stars to TV Bakwetu. Okay, that's where it is. I'm coming to you from Calgary, Alberta, from my home office. Today is Sunday, so nothing complicated. Today is Sunday, and so we are coming to you live from my home office. Please do send us stars. So the stars is just next to the like icons. You're going to see a star, and then it will tell you to send a star. Share with as many people as possible. Invite others to like our page as well. Why? Because we also want chirerira. You know what I mean? Chifure charira. Anyway, I'm going to bring to on right now Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. Now, we call him General, so he's not literally a general, you know what I mean? We call him General because that is his nickname. Apparently, when he was younger, he was a soldier. And so once somebody is a soldier, he's a general. So that's why we call him General. General, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening, Munsha.
Mr. Norman Chipakupaku.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Munsha. How are you? And good evening, your viewers.
No. I don't think you are coming on. There is something wrong with your system.
With my system, okay. I will try again.
There's something wrong. Okay. We'll try and get him. Okay. Yeah. No, he wasn't coming on. So thank you so much for joining us. He's going to dial back in, and then we're going to continue with our conversation. So I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, from our home here, and my name is Elias Musha. We're going to be joined shortly by Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. I think he's back in, and so General, are you here now?
Yes, I am. Are you able to hear me?
Oh yes, we can hear you just fine. Now, I was telling our listeners that we call you General because that is your nickname.
Well, they call me General because I served in the army for some time, and because I always want things done. I always want jobs done. If I'm given a task, it has to be done. So that's why they call me General.
And so it's because you give commands. You're like, do this thing for me, and then people must do it, right?
Yes, it's very, very true. I always want to give instructions, and I always want to give instructions, and I want them done properly.
Okay, so something happened on Friday. I went and I got my vaccine. So that's the first shot of the AstraZeneca vaccine. So my arm is a little sore, but other than that, I feel just fine. I understand you also took the same vaccine, was it?
Yes, I took the same vaccine, and I'm feeling fine. There's no problem so far. I'm waiting for the second vaccine. And I can't wait to get the second one because what I'm seeing in India is just terrible.
And it's affecting you know, a lot of countries at the moment, and so let's keep it up. In Zambia, though, the people that are receiving vaccine, they are receiving it in a vest. apparently it's fashionable. You must be in a vest. What were you wearing when you were receiving your vaccine?
Why a vest? Is this superstition of some sort? I was in my normal shirt, and there was no vest involved. What is the story about vests in Zambia?
No, because they started with the upper Mwambas, of course, right? They started with the generals. Anyway, they started with the minister, and so the minister was wearing a vest underneath the shirt. So he had to take off the shirt, and then they pictured him with with that vest on. And it appears like most of the guys that are being given the vaccines, they are wearing a white vest.
Wow.
And so you're saying that you did not wear any vest?
No, I wear a vest, but on that day I didn't wear a vest. I just had a T-shirt on top, on my top.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, so apart from the vaccine from Friday, now I must be very clear here, General, that I was wrong. Okay, you were right that Dr. Kambwili was going to defect to PF. I didn't want to preempt the discussion. And so I think you were right. And so I'm here to say that you are right. What do you say about Dr. Kambwili rejoining the Patriotic Front?
First of all, before I tackle the issue of CK, I just hope the lady who's sent a very interesting message on Facebook, a lady, I hope she's tuned in. She's called Tina Banda.
All right.
She thought that I was a robot. Tina, if you are watching, I'm not a robot. I'm a human being.
What is this about Tina thinking that you were a robot?
Well, she says she thought I was a robot because I think I must have tackled her very badly over politics or something. And she thought I was a robot. Tina, if you're watching, I'm not a robot. I'm a human being, proper human being. And the beauty about me is that I don't hide my face. I always use the real face. I don't hide my face. So okay, I think that's what I wanted to clarify first.
So what I think is what happened was that you and Tina, because Tina was also quite talkative, and so I think you and her maybe had an issue at one point, but now she's on your team. Do you know that?
I didn't know. If she's on our team, welcome to our team, Tina. And in fact, to be very honest, I went to her page and I found her dancing some Mankole song, which was very exciting for me. But well done, Tina. If she's online, well done, and welcome to the winning team. We're winning this year.
All right, that's wonderful. Anyway, I think Tina, we're going to bring you one of these days because you have a lot to talk about. She is a trained lawyer like I am, and so we're going to have a very interesting conversation. Now, let's go back to Kambwili, Dr. Kambwili. What do you think, General Chipakupaku?
Well, we had information that Kambwili was going back, and we knew he was going to go back. And for me, to start with, I'm one person who really never trusted what Kambwili said from the word go. And so when we knew that Kambwili was going back, the only puzzle we didn't have was how he was going to go back, how he was going to handle the NDC. His other half of NDC, because NDC is in two parts. So his other half of NDC. What we thought was he was going to take the other half of NDC, which he didn't.
But when you say we, who are you talking about here?
I think I must put my hands up. We at UPND.
Are you speaking on behalf of the UPND?
No, I am a member of UPND. So members of UPND will know what is happening. I'm not speaking on behalf of the UPND.
But you knew that Kambwili was supposed to leave the alliance.
Exactly, we knew. We knew because of the conditions he was trying to give. So, so the question was, when was he going to go back, and how was he going to go back?
All right. Now Saturday came, and indeed he went back. What's your comment about that?
To start with, I find his statement of saying he just took his card back to renew. First of all, PF has no cards.
All right.
PF has no membership.
right?
And a lot of Zambians don't know that. That's why they're able to have a PF cadre going to the office of the Ministry of Works and Supply and harass a civil servant, and they can stand up and say, no, he's not our member, because there's no membership in PF.
All right. So maybe there is a card. You don't know. How are you going to know? You just don't know whether they have cards or not. So
they don't have to. Unless it's a secret society, which we don't know. PF has no plans.
Okay, so he's gone back. Now, what changes with that?
It just simply means that you don't trust what Kambwili says, because how can a politician fail to honor your own words? They will judge you by what you say. If I say something, Musha, and your listeners, your audience, I mean every word I say, because I think first before I say anything.
Right.
If I say yes, it's a yes.
Right.
If I say no, it's a no. I don't come in between. I always take the stand and I defend that stand. So what will Kambwili tell the world? What would Kambwili tell the Zambians? Because he told us that Lungu is a thief, for instance. Using his own word, he says he's a pompo. So what makes any Zambian believe in whatever Kambwili tells them? That's the first thing.
Well, because politicians do change. And I'm not trying to speak on behalf of Kambwili here, but I think he's defected. He's gone back to the Patriotic Front, and that is the reality. And I think that you never thought he could do anything differently. So this does not come as a surprise.
For me personally, I thought I never took any word of Kambwili seriously. From the way he left PF, well, he was fired, but from the way he behaved after PF. So I never took whatever he said seriously, because first of all, I was very, very convinced from the word go that he was a tribalist, because from his campaigns, he is a tribalist. He was just trying to wash himself up, but now he has gone back to his true colors. That is what has happened.
All right. Now, beyond what he has done, how do we move on from there? I want you to know that I'm one of those who thought that the opposition alliance was the way to unseat the Patriotic Front. Honestly, I need to be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that the Hakainde Hichilema and Kambwili alliance was going to be unbeatable, basically, you know? And so we felt quite disappointed. I felt quite disappointed. And I thought, what is really going on? How are we going to unseat the Patriotic Front without that alliance? You tell me.
Well, the alliance is there. Kambwili is not the alliance. The alliance, as far as we are concerned, is the alliance between the Zambian people. The rest of the Zambian people. This campaign and this election is about the Zambian people. That is the alliance. So the alliance is not Kambwili. And in fact, for his behavior in the last 1 week or 2 weeks, actually makes a lot of Zambians believe that HH is actually a very, very committed person. HH says what he means.
Oh, so you mean it might help have people have confidence in Mr. Hakainde Hichilema?
Exactly.
All right. Now, apparently, as they went to receive Mr. Kambwili into the Patriotic Front, there was a fight. Pari buko inturubundi ichongo. Aren't you surprised by such activities?
I am a former soldier, and from what I know is what is happening on the ground in Zambia, I was not surprised. I was not surprised. If Zambians were surprised, I was not surprised. Anybody who has served in the army or anybody who's serving in the intelligence services in Zambia was not surprised. A few years ago, somebody announced that they were sending people to Sudan for training.
Who
I think
did
it was Winter. It was Winter Kavimba. What were these people for? What were they going to Sudan for?
Well, I don't know. I don't
know. That's why we want PF to tell us.
All right.
And in the last 5-6 years, we have had more gunshots, we have had more machetes, we have had more boots, we have had more combat introduced into the PF. Let's count the number of shots. Lawrence Banda, this other Chipakupaku girl was shot by the police. We don't know whether the police were real police or not.
Okay.
So for me, I'm not surprised. To be very honest with you, Munsha, and your viewers, PF has been creating a monster for the past 10 years. And what you saw yesterday, yesterday, was the actual monster showing its ugly head. And let me tell you, if something is not done, we are going to have the worst general election in the history of Zambian politics.
Now, do you mean these are people fighting within the PF, like what happened yesterday, or you mean in general terms, like what Dr. Sishua said?
These are people who are armed. These are people who are armed and trained. There are a lot of videos showing PF arming cadres. And this is deliberate.
No. I've never seen those videos. Chipakupaku. I know the PF is a violent party, and I know that the violence stems from just small commanders who call themselves commanders at Intercity, and then the other guy at Chawama, and then there are several other, little groups, gangs here and there. But to say that they've actually armed thugs and trained them, I think that is a little stretch. Now, where do you get that idea from?
First of all, who shot Lawrence Banda in Kaoma?
Okay, right.
Who shot Lawrence Banda? Let's ask that question. If the PF is not armed, how many people have been hacked by machetes during the by-election?
That one we know that quite a lot. Yeah.
So what makes us fail to conclude? What we saw yesterday was a tip of a serious iceberg.
Yeah.
And for me, as a former soldier, the police has failed, the commander-in-chief has failed. The only way out is to send in the army and clean them up.
No.
Oh yes. To clean the markets, clean the bus stations, and disarm them before we go for general elections.
No. I don't think that would be the path to take, of using the army to go and clean. Now, I know that with your background from the military, you you gravitate towards military solutions. That's why we as civilians, we need to put you military people in check.
What I'm saying is,
you must listen to me as a civilian, because it's because of these ideas and mentalities where you are saying that, no, we are just going to use soldiers to do civilian duties. No. I disagree. And I think even my listeners here, yes.
Our police has failed. Our police has got all the weapons they need. In fact, I've never seen such an armed police force. But they've failed because I think they've been infiltrated by the PF. The police commanders are not able to take look at what happened in Sesheke. Look at what happened in Sesheke. The poor officer took the action. He got fired.
Yeah.
That was the action the police should have taken on in Lusaka to clean them up. But the officers are afraid to take that action because they'll be fired. And so the only way out is to send in the army and clean these guys up before we go for elections.
Wow, I've never seen that.
That's my recommendation.
Yeah. That's a tough one. As a Democrat and civilian, I would want the soldiers to stay put not to involve themselves. They should be ready to attack Malawans when Malawans attack us.
Malawi will never attack us, Munsha. That was supposed to be the role of the police. That was supposed to be the role of the paramilitary. But the paramilitary, our paramilitary and our police is heavily compromised.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that one.
What we saw yesterday is a very dangerous situation.
Right.
And if we go for elections like that, let's be prepared for something worse off.
Yeah. So we'll continue. Okay. So here is my plan. My plan for violence is, first of all, for us to let everybody in Zambia know that we stand for a violence-free election. You agree with me, General? Yes.
Totally agree.
The second thing, we need to continue appealing to the commander-in-chief to be sensible, right? So we should continue telling the commander-in-chief to be sensible. Do you agree with that?
Totally agree with you.
The only place where we differ, you and I, is where you are saying that you would rather have the commander-in-chief send in soldiers to intercity to disarm Patriotic Front paramilitaries.
That's the difference. Is that because I served in the army, you didn't? That's the difference.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm a civilian.
So we agree on one principle. We want peaceful. We want peaceful elections.
Mm-hmm.
We want an environment where it will have a free and fair elections.
Yeah. Now,
but the environment as it is now,
yes,
the chances are that we're not going to have a free and fair election.
Okay. Now, do you have any word for the people that were injured? Because they were injured. Mr. Innocent Kalimanshi, he was injured out of this fracas. What message do you have for him?
I find it very strange that the guy who was beaten has been arrested. The people who attacked him and the people who destroyed the car, nobody's in the police cell. That's strange.
They are still investigating.
That gives you a hint of what. First of all, Munsha, the police went to a wrong venue, which is the UPND Youth Center, which was very peaceful. They were supposed to launch. They had all the guns there.
Yeah.
The police intelligence should have known to say there was going to be a fracas there. Yeah. They didn't.
Yeah.
The information I have is that Kalimanshi was invited to say that CK is coming. We want all our members to come back so that we can reconcile. Yes. And they ambushed him. Basically, they ambushed. They tricked him into the camp and beat him right there, right in the secretariat. And Munsha, if you analyze that video, if you analyze that video, you could see machetes, pangas.
Right. No, I couldn't see them. So what message do you have for him?
I've analyzed that video. Anybody, even police, can analyze that video. You will see pangas in that.
So are you wishing Kalimanshi a quick recovery?
Well, he's a human being. Kalimanshi is a Zambian. I won't wish any Zambian dead. I won't wish Kalimanshi dead. I won't wish anybody in Zambia dead because, I'm a patriot. What I'm just saying is that where is the police? Yeah. The police.
Because apparently the police were busy with the UPND youth centers, you have said. Now, what do you think about that? Where the police, instead of policing the violent Patriotic Front events, they go to police the peaceful UPND youth event. What does that tell you?
It makes me feel sad. I was following Gilbert, the national chairman of the UPND, when he went to plead to the police who had surrounded the camp. He went there with a lot of respect. Right. A lot of discipline and respecting the police officers. Yeah. Can you allow me to go in? We're officially opening this. They couldn't allow him even to use his car. And they told him, we don't want to negotiate with you. Go to the commissioner of police and negotiate. They were in no sense of compromising.
Right.
Peaceful. But then you go to the other side, the PF were so rowdy, so rowdy, so noisy, and you could see the indiscipline. So here are two camps. One is disciplined, quiet, no nothing, but the police has come to there with all the guns.
Yeah.
And there is a place which was very, very noisy, not only noisy, very, very dangerous. There is a police officer who has been injured, a police vehicle which has been damaged, but the police did not take any action. Where is the police? The police has got intelligence. The police has got CIDs. Where are they?
Yeah, it was extremely sad and very concerning. But we should continue, though, encouraging the police to do the right thing, right? Aren't we going to do that?
I am encouraging the police, the professional police. But I am so disappointed. If I'm sorry, because I'm speaking as a former soldier. I would have fired the Inspector General yesterday.
Okay, but what happened? No, you're right.
That Inspector General should have been fired yesterday for what happened, because that should have never been allowed to happen.
Yeah, my theory would have been that, you see, the real problem, in my opinion, is not necessarily with the police service. I think that the country's chief police officer, like you have said, is indeed the president. And so we expect that the president is going to lead by example and model discipline in the police service, because he's the one who is governing. He's the commander-in-chief of the police service. He's commander-in-chief of all the security and defense forces, and he must act and model discipline. So for me, it's not just about the police. For me, I think the problem lies with State House itself. That is where the issue is. And so, August, do you foresee changes?
In August, for me, if it's peaceful and if it's free, there's no way PF will win elections. No way.
Okay,
let me conclude it, Munsha.
Yeah.
We need peaceful elections. And for me as a Democrat, if it's peaceful, if there's no rigging, there's no violence, anybody who wins clean, I'll respect that person.
Right.
We lost elections in 1991. I was the first person to put my hand up to say we've lost elections as UNEP. I'm a Democrat. But I will not accept a situation where our people are intimidated, our people are hacked, just for somebody to remain in power. No, that should not be acceptable to any Zambian.
Right.
We should ask President Lungu, if he's listening to me, which I think he is, because I know that they're following me, Mr. President, you are the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
The commander-in-chief, I know, has got the powers to tell the police what to do. Give instructions, firm instructions. First of all, they know where these cadres are operating from. There's Kambwili.
Yeah.
There's the markets. There's Intercity.
Right.
They know them. Why is the commander-in-chief not acting? If the Mr. Commander-in-Chief, if you're not acting, which means you are abetting and accepting violence.
You're right. Yeah. So that's why our focus really should be on the president. Now, you know one thing, I need to tell you this, General, that I am thinking as we inch closer to August that the Patriotic Front may actually lose this election.
They will lose this election.
I'm beginning to see it. I'm beginning to see how they lose the election. It's quite serious. You can see from the way they are behaving that I think they also know that something is wrong.
Well, Musha, the PF is in a state of shock that they are going to lose this election. They know it.
Yeah.
The biggest fear now is that what is going to happen after the 12th of August. And I think the biggest fear is that they think that they will, they will be arrested. They think, no. The truth is that if you have not done anything wrong, if you have not committed any crime, there's no need to fear. Dr. Kaunda lost the elections in 1991. He didn't run away. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't even fear. Arabi, my uncle Arabi, he lost an election. He never ran away. So what do they fear? So the truth is, this is what is worrying them. That is the biggest worry they have, whether they like it or not. Me, I talk to ministers. I know ministers who are so scared. They don't know what's going to happen. The truth is, if you have not stolen anything, if you have not done anything, there's no need to worry, because they will not be the first people to be kicked out of power. We lost elections in 1991. We never ran away. Kaunda never ran away.
Now, is the UPND giving assurances to these people that if they lost and they've not committed any crime, they need to accept defeat or something like that? Is there any messaging that is coming out of the UPND?
That message has been very, very clear. HH has said many times, we are going to fix the economy. We have no time to fix people.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not a spokesperson of the UPND.
Yeah. No.
I'm not a spokesperson of the UPND.
It's clear. Yes, General. Now we need to make it clear that Mr. Norman Chipakupaku becomes a friend of our television due to his extensive experience and old age. So because of extensive experience, and that is what brings him to our television here, because here on this television, and so he's here not because he's a spokesperson for the UPND. We know that he's a UPND member, he's a supporter of the UPND, but he does not speak for the UPND. Anyway, I hope that clarifies it. But anyway, go on. I think I cut you.
You cut me. So what I'm saying is that HH, those who have been following HH, has said it very, very clearly. First priority of UPND is to fix the economy, is to sort out the debt, is to sort out the mess, so that we start afresh and make sure that our people have their food on the table. That's priority number one.
Yeah.
Then, if there is anybody who has committed a crime, I think he has made it very clear that's not his job. That's the job of the law enforcement agencies. Right. Because that is not, there must be a separation between the executive and the police and the president's office. I am not speaking on his behalf. What I've heard him say is that he is going to focus, his government is going to focus on fixing the economy, because that's the most important thing. And if there's any other issue, any other crime, that's the law to take its course.
Okay, we need to clarify that, General, because I think when I hear the UPND say that, I think, no, the president is still chief of the police. Well, the country is chief is the president, and so the president does set the tone, and in fact, the president can, in fact, instruct the police to investigate. And I don't see any reason why the president should not be involved in setting the tone for investigations.
The president is the commander-in-chief, which means he has to set the tone.
Yeah.
But what he can't do is he can't influence the police. He can set the tone, and he can say, I need this investigated. But he cannot give instructions for the police to arrest this person and arrest that other person. No.
Yeah,
so what I'm just saying is that the HH has said, which is in public domain,
right?
Let's fix the economy. If there's anything any crime which was committed, the police, which is supposed to be acting independently, must investigate.
All right. Okay. Thank you. We are now going to speak with a few people. Now,
Mr. Can I just handle one thing before you go?
No, we are not going. I just want to bring in some other people, but go ahead. Yes.
What Kambwili said, that HH is influencing the World Bank and the IMF. I think it's total madness.
When did you say that?
Yes, he said that. He said HH has gone to tell the World Bank and the IMF not to give us a bridging loan. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, because
Zambians should remember that it was the PF government which chased the IMF country representatives. And
yes,
President Lungu said in Parliament, we don't need the IMF. We don't need the World Bank.
And in fact, he even lied, because he said that the reason why they're chasing the IMF is because of homosexuals.
Exactly.
I think that's what he said. So it was all a lie. I mean it was all a lie.
No, that's the thing which I wanted to clarify about Kambwili, that he lied. That is not true. So him saying that HH has told the Euro bonds and the IMF not to forgive our loans, that's complete lie. I think if I had my way, I would bring Kambwili here for a course in economics for 6 months.
All right.
It's crazy.
Now,
nobody in the board of the World Bank would listen to an individual.
Do you think, okay, Mr. Chipakupaku, do you think that the cases that Mr. Kambwili has are going to disappear now that it's PF?
I think they will. There's something called a NOLE. They will. PF from
what
the
is that? You're talking of a NOLE. What is that? I think that sounds like a Greek to me. So what does NOLE mean? You mean?
Mosha, you are a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a lawyer. I did business law. I didn't do criminal law.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I did business law at the MSc level. Okay. Now, these people have entered knowledge in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to hear that Kambwili has appealed for all these cases and they've been thrown out. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's how, unfortunately, that's how Lungu works.
Do you think that is like? I don't foresee it, but I've been wrong before. Like just on Friday, I was wrong, and so you could be right. I don't foresee Lungu just instructing the police to say, or the prosecutors to say, just enter a NOLE.
Well, these cases where Kambwili has already apologized, he will say, we've withdrawn the case. That's it.
Yeah, he's only apologized on one case, which is Imbwa. I think that's the only case where he has apologized. Otherwise, he's facing 39 counts of obtaining money that is reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime.
Well, let's wait and see. One thing I can say is that I trust some of our judges, not all. I trust some.
Interesting.
I trust some because I can say this. It's not a secret. There's no way that you can appoint your auntie as a judge and expect fair justice.
No, that's understandable. Mr. Frank Saliki.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Uncle Norman.
Good evening, Frank. Who's bringing you here?
Listen, Frank. No
hiding, no hiding. Let's bring some calmness. Let's bring some calmness to the conversation.
No, with you there, I'll be calm.
I mean, yes, the starting point that we have to really look at is, for me, the first one has happened to innocent Kalimanshi. I don't think a great deal about him. But what has happened over the last few days, for me, it is a worry for our country. And every Zambian should condemn it. And once that starts, for me, it's about when you see a small fire, when you see a little fire, you have to stop it.
Exactly.
And I think at the moment it's not been stopped. And I think there comes a time as a people of Zambia, we sit down and we say, what is going on and how do we stop what is going on? And we need a collective condemnation of what is going on. And I think when I look around social media, there's almost a fighting talk that is going on in Zambia right now. And it makes me very, very, very nervous. I know we want change. We want change in our country, but there has to be a proper way and the right way of bringing about that change. You want to bring unity. You don't want to create division. And I haven't lived in Zambia. I haven't lived in Zambia for the last 15 years. But the first 15 years of my life, Zambia was the most peaceful place you ever lived. There's always calmness, even when it comes to time to elections. There's always that calmness. But we don't have that anymore.
Frank, I'm a very calm person. Abantendeka ni Chipakupaku. Because immediately he comes on the show, he then, I'm a very peaceful.
I know him, he starts on me.
And then he starts me.
That's the difference between serving in the army and seeing real hell. I know what peace means. I know what war is. So that's why I don't want it for my country. Right. That's why I speak the way I speak. Because I've seen war. I've seen death. And I've seen countries with war. So I don't want that to happen to Zambia. That's why I've been appealing to the commander-in-chief. If I was the I think Frank knows me. If I was the commander-in-chief, that inspector general would have been fired by yesterday.
Right. We agree. So Frank, what is the solution then? What are you saying is the solution?
I think it's about educating our people again. So in the UK, I've lived in the UK for the last 15 years. I've been able to vote since 2010. And on 3 different occasions, I've voted for different political party because I've been able to analyze and say, what party gives me what do I get?
Right.
And for the Zambian people, it's not about who's got. Now I go back to you, Mr. Munsha, and Tenge and all that. It's not about who's got watch Tenge, who's got watch picture on watch Tenge. It's about who's going to give the Zambia the most. Who's going to give our young people the most for the future. I look about the youth empowerment, and everybody. It just makes me angry because you look at the youth empowerment. What happens if a youth empowerment? How is condemned by youth empowerment? Who do they sell what to?
Hold on a little bit, Frank. Are you there?
I am here,
Frank. We have 100 days to this election. We can no longer live with the luxury of speaking and in parables. Who among the candidates best explains the dream for our country? Alemune, Frank, who do you think?
If I was a young person living in Zambia right now, and I'm looking at the future, everything that's going on, the best candidate who explains the future is Hakainde Hichilema. I haven't heard anything from the PF explain what they're going to do for the young people, what they're going to bring for the future. They've not explained anything.
Thank you. I agree with you, and I guess General Chipakupaku also agrees. Now, even if I'm a member of a different political party, I need to acknowledge when I see that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema offers the best promise for our country, because it is not just about our party. And
I read the manifesto. You talk about parables. I was reading the UPND manifesto. There was no parables. Things were explained properly. I've just got my master's. I could understand things. Say this is economy. That is going to work this way. This is how it's going to work. There wasn't. We're going to give you a lot of money. It promises job for young people, but it explains step by step how they're going to create those jobs. How they're going to create those jobs. So it's not just like an empty promise of we're going to have jobs for a lot of young people. You can see a detailed explanation of how jobs are going to be created. And that's what you want from your leader. You want a leader who explains how they're going to do something, not just gives you empty promises.
Thank you, Frank. Frank, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. And
thank you very much,
Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
All right. Kasololo, please tell us who you are.
My name is Kasololo. General.
Everyone knows Mr. Chipakupaku.
General, it's good to see you.
Good evening, Kasololo. How are you?
I'm very fine, General.
No, Mr. Kasololo, before you go any further, there are some people that are asking me about stars right here, and I'm telling them stars are just next to the like page. So you send a star. That's exactly what it is. It's not very complicated. So yes. I just wanted to answer some of the questions. Go ahead, Kasololo.
Yes, please. No, thank you for this opportunity, Munsha. Yeah. You see, Zambia is really at a stage where it is really, really critical. I think, like General said, the PF have sensed that things are really bad and they're not in their favor anymore. So these are like panic steps that they're taking. The whole idea of trying by all means to bring Kambwili back into the PF is part of that panic. You can see, and even the recent what do you call them, defections from the UPND that went to the PF. It all speaks of their panic. You see, on the ground, the ordinary Zambian, having been through the difficulties that we've gone through, talk of the load shedding, talk of the high prices of goods, you know, just goods for people to feed themselves in the homes, the high price of millimil, the high price of cooking oil, just the general living standards in Zambia being so expensive. A lot of people have gravitated towards Hagainde Hichilema. And the people and the PF have seen that. So they are trying by all means, by hook or crook, to try and see if they can salvage their dwindling fortunes as far as elections are concerned. Now, I agree. I saw you made a very sharp response to the suggestion of the general to say the army must move in and clean up the cadres. But you see, Vamunsha, I tend to agree with what the general Chipakupaku said. We have no choice but to remove violent cadres before elections are held.
I agree.
Because you see, because what happened in 2016, where cadres, those same people that you are seeing there fighting at the PF Secretariat, they overran some of the polling stations, and the UPND were left helpless. And we've been saying these cadres have to be removed for Zambia to have free and fair elections, and let whoever will win that election. So long as it's free and fair. Even if Balungu can win a free and fair election, I'll be one of them to go there and hold his hand and say, congratulations, sir. But where cadres overrun polling stations, where cadres are just running amok, where people because you see, not everybody is political in Zambia. Not everybody wants noise in Zambia. Some people are living quite peaceful lives. All they want is to go and line up, even if it's in their suits or whatever, clothing, casual clothing, they decently go, cast their vote and leave.
Right.
That should be accorded to every Zambian. It's their right.
Okay.
That's all we ask for.
I just want to be clear that I'm not saying that we shouldn't disarm the cadres. What I'm saying is the only difference with what Mr. Norman Chipakupaku is saying is that I'm not for using the Zambia army to carry out that operation. I would rather we depend on the civilian solution rather than a military solution. That's what I'm saying.
Which civilian solution? The police is infiltrated. The police is completely hopeless. Which other civilian solution have you got?
Exactly. The police are dead scared of cadres. You saw how those cadres went at the Ministry of Works and Supply and threatened that worker. And even that person who was arrested for having carried out that act, you saw what has happened? He was charged 15,000 12,000 kwacha, and he's out free roaming around with everyone else.
Right. So
can you imagine?
I wouldn't be surprised to hear that one of the ministers paid the fine for that boy.
He paid that fine and he's out.
Anyway, so the same question I asked Frank earlier. Where are you? Who are you supporting? Who do you think offers the best promise for Zambia come August?
All right, let me take my time on this one. You see,
we need a quick one. You see, we need a quick one.
A quick one. Okay, fine. Let me give a quick one.
Don't want very long. I know about
yes.
We are very straightforward. We are soldiers here. We are soldiers.
All right. Okay, let me be very quick. You see, the person we need in State House is a person, first of all, who's going to unite Zambia. Two, he must have a solution to take Zambia forward. Let me be very honest here. As a person who's with an economics background, I studied economics at University of Zambia. I know for a fact that Zambia is endowed with a lot of mineral resources, much, much more than its neighbors. The only neighbor that we have that exceeds us in mineral wealth is actually the DRC, which is not even a direct, the DRC, yes. The DRC is the only country that exceeds us. But as far as minerals are concerned, and even the water table or the freshwater resources, and even the arable land, we have more. I'm telling you, Zambia can change. Yes, so the person,
please, who are you endorsing?
It's HH, Hakahinda Hichilema. Let the man come in and use his brains, which will benefit all of us. Even those who do not vote for him will praise him. They'll be happy to live in a Zambia under HH.
Ateke
komkwai.
Atnanko omfwe kwa manone. Omfwe kwa manone.
And Bamunsha, to be honest with you, looking at the work ethic of HH, because the man is a workaholic, he won't even come there for Amanone because it's such a serious.
He has no time for Amanone. The HH I know.
As you are ruling, you see, Mundukuta is a very innocent. But when he becomes president, Mwema Soja, Amuti Arenomba, Stako enjoy you to Manone. We know you.
No, but with HH, you know that he reviews at any given time. HH has got about 3 books or so at any given time that he's reviewing. Some of those books, he reviews international books that are in business that they send to him that he goes through. So he really has no time. I mean, the man has made it on a personal, at a personal stage. I mean, he's made it. He's okay. So all he wants is, I mean, it pains you if you are such a successful person that you are in this environment where there's so much poverty and inefficiency. It just beckons you. Even you, Bamunsha, I've seen you are a person that is successful in your law career, but it pains you that you come from a country that is lacking in some of those things. So it's just a human reaction that HH has. How can I be so successful, yet I'm surrounded with so much inefficiency and poverty? Let me do something about it.
Thank you, Kasolo. We thank you so much. Any last words, General Chipakupaku? Or what do you have to say to Kasolo?
Well, Kasolo, you're right. You studied economics, my friend, like me. You know the resources we have. I think HH is one person who's disciplined. And Zambia now needs a very disciplined and focused leader to be able, first of all, to stabilize the ship and then build.
Discipline kunobaita tikaso mwebo.
Discipline. Every successful country needs a disciplined leader. Every successful country needs a leader who's disciplined.
Yes.
And what is happening now is that the current man is not disciplined himself. If you're not disciplined, you can't be a good leader.
Okay, thank you. Wise man, Don Wise man. So you say that you'll be divided in the attention today. Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Are you the only one who doesn't know General Chipakupaku?
General Chipakupaku, I've been following General Chipakupaku, but we don't know each other in person, but I've been following him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is my co-host?
How are you, Jendo?
I'm fine, thank you so much, my brother. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I want to be following your steps, Jendo. I've been
You're
in
most
and
welcome.
out.
You're most welcome, sir.
So
Yeah.
Don Wiseman, just to
Yes.
give you an idea, Mr. Chipakupaku started off as a 16-year-old military recruit.
Okay.
At 16 years old, and then he rose through the ranks. And in those days, when they notice talent, they move you from corporal and you become director of something.
They were looking at talent. They were also looking at discipline. Kaunda used to promote people on discipline and your input.
No, but even Bukada Naimwe. So you were obviously a very vicious unit cadre.
I was a very disciplined soldier, Muncha. I was sent to China for training in the 70s. And for you to be sent abroad those years, you had to be smart and you had to be disciplined. I was in China in 1976 and many other countries which I went to. That was not easy.
Right. Okay, so here is Don Wiseman. What do you have to say?
Thank you very much. I know, Mr. Musha, was just trying to play a playoff to you, Jendo. He's comparing to this one who's here currently, who's just appointing people on a cathedrism basis. I'm sure KK was not among them.
Yeah.
Actually, Mr. Musha, last time when I told you that I was in the hotel of PF, I don't know if they were following the video just after we discussed that same incident. I was called the following day to come and to go and questioned about such kind of the same conversation, and I was told why should I be giving such kind of information to upload. I told them I've been following that meeting, and I'm one of that. I'm a participant of that meeting. That's why I always contribute, and it's very important for me to notify the people when they miss me. And I was put in again for no charge. I just came out on Friday. That's why I've been seeing me missing the most of our broadcasts. Otherwise,
So
things which is happening.
It's a police state. That's a police state.
Yeah. Otherwise, things are currently things are bad unless someone who's seeing it outside the box, and unless someone who is inside themselves can see that things are okay. Otherwise, for some of us who are facing the real challenges, things are bad here. And when you mention about this comrade called Kambwili, who has gone back to PF, when you were asking if those charges will be dropped, I don't think so. Those charges will be dropped because the leadership I know currently is just want to finish him completely. Don't be surprised if you see him again being sentenced back to prison, and people they will be saying, no, this is the end of him. Otherwise, for me, I shouldn't even be following what that man that Kambwili is doing, because I think is misleading us, the young ones who are trying to pursue politics. So for me, if I see such kind of people are trying to show us that this is the way they play politics, they're destroying the future of our country. Because in politics, we've got people like Chiluba, who have been pushed there, but never gave up. We have got people like Michael Sata. We have got people, so many people. But for me, I think I give kudos to the person before you even ask me a question. To the person I follow, HH. I think I've been inspired by that man for so many reasons.
So what you're saying, what I hear you saying, Don Wiseman, is you do not believe what Kambwili did, because there are several leaders who faced similar pressures and they never gave up.
Yeah.
Kambwili now gives up and goes back to the Patriotic Front, and in fact, the Patriotic Front might not even give him what he thinks he's going to get: freedom.
Exactly. Actually, if you had followed his statement, he confessed to his mouth, which the problem he has is his mouth. He said, I haven't come back to PF. I've come to renew my card. I never went off the PF. It's like he went on a spy. And the thing which I give kudos and I give applaud to HH is that man is intelligent. If you have seen people who have left the HH, people who are close, people like GBM, the vice president, people like Kakoma, who was a spokesperson, the previous vice president left the HH, but none of them has gone and review any secret HH has. That is intelligence. If HH was dirty, this time HH could have been crowbarred, but that man is clean, corruption free, genuine businessman. That's why I'm inspired by what he does, and I'm ready to sacrifice my life just for me to see that man go in State House. That's what I want. As a young man, I'll be tormented, tortured, pushed in here and there, but what I'm pushing for, organizing my friends so much so that come 12 August, you will see Zambia who's going to have the leadership to have been trying.
Mr. Chipakupaku, any words for Don Wiseman?
I am touched, Don. You be strong, young man. It's going to be tough. There's a saying that it always becomes dark before dawn. Exactly. So please just be safe. Right. We are dealing with very, very vicious and evil people. Be safe, but be strong. Be strong.
Exactly.
Right, thank you. Thank you. And now we have Chisumpa.
Good evening. Good afternoon in Canada.
Good afternoon. We are running out of time, so please say something very quickly. We have Mr. Norman Chipakupaku here.
Good evening, Mr. Norman.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Thank you so much. I just want to react to what has been happening back in Zambia, like over just a few days. Okay, let me start with Dr. Kambwili and the developments that happened yesterday at PF Secretariat. Okay, Dr. Kambwili's move to go back to PF, it is not a surprise as per se. This thing has been in speculation for the past, since October, when Dr. Kambwili came out of detention or prison on bail on bail pending appeal. He has been in a situation where he used to call it a reflection, so to say. But that wasn't okay. It was a reflection between whether he should go to prison or whether he should go back to PF, because we know the cards that the Patriotic Front government has been playing on him. We know the game that they have been playing on him, because when he went to the opposition, he tried to speak against them. He tried to discredit them, to discredit Edgar Lungu, to paint the image that Edgar Lungu is a corrupt president. He successfully managed to do that, but they put a quick one on him by reminding him all his criminal and dirty dealings that he used to do while he was in government. So when Dr. Kambwili used to call the president that he's a thief, is corrupt, you know, thieves know each other. It's like it takes a thief to know a thief, something like that, you know?
Thank you. Thank you. So Chisumpa, August, what is your, August is just, this is May, June, July, August. So basically 2 months in between. What is your, your quickly?
I'm still studying the manifestos, but so far so good. The UPND manifesto sounds elaborate, although they've tried to throw mud at it, but it makes sense. While on the other hand, the Patriotic Front manifesto, it sounds like people who are in opposition, they are promising things that when we get elected, we will scrap road tax, we will do this, we will do that. Okay, the Patriotic Front are the people who must be judged for their works they've done in 10 years. That's how Zambians should look at them. They shouldn't look at them as people who are incoming. So, okay, it will be a crucial game for the August general elections. It will be a crucial game. But I think Dr.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Sumpa.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chipakupaku, what do you say about what Sumpa was saying?
Chisumpa, thank you so much for the comments. I've been involved with the preparation of the manifesto and other things, and I can say that our manifesto is superior, much better. Not only that, we have got the action plan which we have not released. We'll be releasing it soon. So PF have not even. I think Chisumpa, you're spot on. Zambian people must judge PF by what they promised in 2011, 2015, and 2016. Period.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. Timmy H.
Hi. How you doing?
We are doing very well. I know that you've already had supper. Have you?
Not as yet. I'll take it a little bit later. On a Sunday, I tend to take things a little bit slow.
Oh, okay.
In preparation for Monday, yes. So let me cut straight to the chess.
Right.
Comrade Norman, greetings to you, sir. I met you in 2017, a great man, a man of valor, and I respect your pedigree as well. Yeah, the issue, please, Miraseka Sana, please. I love that man. He's my big guy. I respect him. I look up to him. The issue of defection for Mr. Kambwili. You know, defections always come with ulterior motives or hidden agendas, secret motives. So there's an agenda that he wants to promote at some stage. And in the fullness of time, you will realize it. That I can guarantee. Right. Then with regards to cadreism, General did allude to the fact that the army needs to come in, and you objected that. The army is coming in to bring peace and tranquility. They're not coming in to bash anybody, show somebody that we've got what it takes to put you where you belong. No, the army is there for law and order as well. What we have right now is a crop of policemen that are corrupt, that do not have the gist of what police work is. Why? Because they've been compromised. Right. If the president really loved this country so much, the best thing he could have done was to stamp his foot and say, guys, enough is enough. I don't want to see any of these egregious, evil acts happening under my leadership. He's failed to do it. Rather, if he sends the police right now, or rather the army, is going to save and he's going to show people that he's got what it takes, and he wants to eradicate, annihilate the issue of cadreism and violence completely. That's my take on that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please go and have some supper, okay? All right. Herbert Mbilika and Alan Hatembo, we are almost concluding here. We've overrun by about 7 minutes. It's always a pleasure to speak to Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. What do you think?
Hi, Uncle Musha. Are you able to get me?
Yes, I can. We can hear you just fine.
All right, okay. Good to see you, Uncle Musha. Uncle Norman, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast and feeding us with the knowledge and the information that you're giving us.
Thank you.
Personally, when I look at the UPND has been...
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mbilika, yes, we can hear you.
All right, okay, thank you. Just a quick one. When I look at the UPND has been in opposition for quite a long time now. And when I look at other opposition parties, they've equally been in opposition for some time. After UNIP, we had the MMD ruled for something like 20 years. Then from 20 years, we now have the PF. But after the MMD got out of power, they lacked credibility, and we saw the party going down. But when you look at UPND, they've never governed, but they've kept on gaining popularity, they've kept on gaining momentum, and they've kept on bringing up front like good leadership. So when we look at where Zambia is today, Zambia needs a government like the UPND, because the UPND shown a credible sense of management.
Okay.
And what we need right now is a proper leadership that is going to manage the country in order to take the country out of where it is today.
I agree. I think I think we agree with that. We agree with that, isn't it, General Chipakupaku?
Spot on. I think Zambia now needs a proper leadership, and and I think what the other colleague said, we unfortunately the president is not serious. The current president is not serious, because he could stop this nonsense just with a stroke of a pen. Mwanawasa did it.
I agree. On that one, we agree. Okay, thank you, Herbert. Alan Hadembo.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Where are you calling us from?
I am calling from Lusaka, Chilulu compound, just here.
All right. Okay, so where is Chilulu? Is it near Garden?
Yes, Garden Chilulu, actually. Yeah, Garden.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yes, please.
So, to start with, thanks for the program, and it's really inspiring to have Mr. Chipakupaku and you, Mr. Elias Munsha. It's really inspiring, and really what is happening, it's so bad, so disappointing. Just some few minutes ago, a friend of mine coming from visit, and he passed through the newly opened UPND offices here, and there are some UPND guys there that are they're just acting, they don't know what is happening, but the police is busy spying on those guys. You can just think of that. The police is, it's really something that is so disheartening. Then coming to the each of the people that are defecting and the other opposition leaders and some other people, when you listen to their message, all of them, what they are talking about is, we want to fix HH, we want to fix this one, we want to fix this one, but they do not even have the message of the Zambian. When you look at that, when you listen to them, most of them, their target is just to silence HH. But then what is there after silence? What is there for the Zambians? Imagine you have managed to silence this guy. So what for the Zambians? So please, the Zambians.
It's pretty concerning, and so we are so sorry about what is happening to those people in Lusaka. How we hoped that things went well. Mr. Chipakupaku, any words for Alan Hatembo?
Alan, what you should do is keep safe. Keep your voter's card and get another 10 people every week. We have a few days to go. Let's prepare to get a leader who's going to reunite our country. I am privileged, Alan. I've traveled all over the world. There's no other country like Zambia. So we want to keep Zambia as it is. The only way we can do it is to work together, all of us.
Thank you.
So that we give HH a chance. I know HH, he is going to reunite our country. I know that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for coming. And I also believe that he's going to unite our country. There is no doubt about that. Professor Jones K. Kasonso, PhD. Now, we are going to give you dedicated time like we have with General Chipakupaku. And so we are coming for you, because so many of our followers want to hear from you. But today, it is Kambwili's story.
Thank you. Thank you, Bakwetu. Thank you, Bakwetu. Kambwili's story is an important story because Kambwili is a national leader. And Kambwili has shown his gifts and his talent on the national stage. So he is worth our time. We should talk about him.
Right. We are going to do that. Now, we only have a minute here because we were supposed to have ended at the 1 hour mark. And so, Dr. Kasonso, you must agree to come back during the week.
Yes, sir. I certainly will come. And I apologize. I was working, so I forgot that the gift is happening.
Right. Okay. No problem. We'll do that during the week. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined us. I think we must end here, but we will be back during the week. Now, tomorrow, I am turning 5 years. Imagine, it's been 5 years at the bar. Okay, honestly, I feel like I've been a lawyer all my life, but it's quite amazing. I've only been a lawyer.
Congratulations.
I've only been a full lawyer for 5 years. And it goes by very, very fast. So tomorrow I'm celebrating my 5 years at the bar.
No, we should
5 more years before I qualify to be a judge. But General Chipakupaku, who can appoint a talkative judge like me?
I think we need people like you.
Not Javalandaland.
We need people like you who are fearless. We need people like you who are, you are in Canada. You could have been sleeping and enjoying yourself. But you are thinking about home. You are thinking about the future of our children. So we need people like you. So I think if you are saying 5 years of being a lawyer tomorrow, really would like to just send our congratulations to you and say, look, you've got a bright future. You've got a bright future. Why? Because what Zambia needs is to try and tap on the skills and the knowledge of its people abroad. I do a lot of research on the diaspora. Zambia has got something like 80,000 Zambians abroad.
80,000. That's huge human capital, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. We transfer something like 480 to 500 million US dollars back to Zambia every year.
I know Vakasonso bali kwata ama orphans.
Yeah, me, I've got double orphans. I always support children, and so this is a huge resource. So Musha, Zambia needs you, and you are doing your part. And when we reunite our country after August, we will need people.
Right.
We will need people like you. You don't need to go back to Zambia, but you can do something to help rebuild our country. And what really pains me is this idea of dividing ourselves when we shouldn't divide ourselves. So to me, that's what I can say.
That's agreed.
We've done a good job. We've done a good job.
So during the week, we do have several programs coming up, and I'll let you know. Particularly Dr. Kasonso, we want to bring you back because we want Insamushi. Everyone wants to know Insamushi. Because imwe so tulefwa mukese londolola gwino Insamushi nakaloba nenkongole. And so we'll bring you on. Thank you so much for joining me and joining us on TV Bakwetu. Thank you, General Chipakupaku.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Musha, for having me tonight, and thank you so much for the surprises. And for those who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if Tina Banda is still here, I just want us to catch up and talk to Zambians at home. Please, let's demand for the army to move in and clean up. We want peaceful elections. That's my request, because the police has failed. That's my request. That's my request.
Right.
When we go for elections and you have fire or problems going on for failing to take the action, do not blame anybody. Because Frank said, when there's a little fire, put it off before it becomes terrible. What we saw yesterday was a little fire.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Dr. Kasonso, we'll see you during the week.
Thank you, sir. Vakwetu, thank you so much for,
God bless
the donkey by the neck, and congratulations on your practice and being an attorney and the lawyer of Abantu.
ati lawyer w'abasungu efe baranda ati leko kulanda ko iwe pantini weko lawyer w'abasungu so na imwe ba accountant b'abasungu na mumwe ma soldiers b'abasungu ati muleko kulanda.
No, me to professionals. We're professionals. Some of us we do work for anybody, whether umusungu, whether we are professionals. So and what we are doing is to try and give advice. For the Congolese, Dr. Kasonso, I was involved for 7 years campaigning for Zambia's debt. So I got a lot of information about that if you need it.
All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
God bless. Thank you.
Okay,
bless our country.
Yes, indeed. God bless you and God bless our country. Thank you for joining TV Bakwetu today. My name is Elias Munsha, and I was coming to you with our guests, special guests from here in Calgary, Alberta, and around the world. Thank you for joining us. May God bless you and may God bless our country. Continue sending us stars, continue sending us, putting in a good word, and continue spreading and liking and sharing and everything else. Let's make this page go viral, okay? Let's make it go viral like everybody's thing, It's very difficult for a page like this to go viral, but let's make it go viral. The reason is because that's what other pages have. So if we talk about if we talk about just love and joy. Naba Chipakupaku and Dr. Jones Kaso. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. God bless you and God